Keep the Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock.
TK.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock.
My rock.
The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock.
My rock.
The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you
Keep the Bible.
Shalom. Welcome to another live class. We're here at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Smooth like that. Our class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 9. Friday 6 to 8, and Saturday from 10 to 2. If you're local, feel free to join us. Our doors are open. We have a school in Virginia. They're at 2610 Granby, No 4 Virginia 23517. They're Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 9. Okay, so if you're in that area, feel free. They're not doing Sabbath class on Saturday yet, but once they get a little bit more consistency, then they'll start doing Sabbath classes out there on Saturdays. But what they do, they go out street speaking from about 1 to 6, 1 to 7. All right. So if you want to join them for that, you could contact Priest Kazakia, and he can get you linked up with that. We got the school in San Antonio. They're in class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 7 to 9. Saturday from 10 to 2. Their locations on the screen. Same thing with Albuquerque. You can check out our various outlets. As far as on YouTube, we got the ISBHPK. When you type in ISBHPK, it pops up every channel. All right, 5 Minutes of Wisdom, Kids, Hidden Truth Bible Show, Israelite Media Corp. All those pop up. All the different channels for the schools pop up. We also have Mashaba does Blog Talk Radio. He does that from Sunday to Friday. Okay, from Sunday to Friday, he does Blog Talk Radio. That's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA. It's Blog Talk Radio. It's a podcast, so you can have it downloaded to your podcast players. When a new episode goes live, it pops in, and you can download all the previous episodes. A lot of the classes are good. I mean, they're all good. Some of them are like 2, 3, 4 parts. A lot of information. Mashaba, he takes his time. He gets up in there. He gives you every precept. All right? So, something good to start your day out with. If you'd like any garments made, you can contact the sisters. You can go to www.isbhpk.com/IsraelWear. All right? Israel, then -wear. We do a fringed up subscription. You can get every month. You pay $35. They'll send you a fringe shirt with a scripture or some type of vinyl printing on it, something biblical or something to do with one of the tribes. You'll get that every month. If you pay $70, they'll give you the shirt and the matching headband. It's good for the bros that don't have a lot of garments. You don't have a lot of fringe shirts. You don't have a lot of headbands. And let's say your rib don't sew, or she's just getting into the sewing. This is a good way to get a few items. It's a good way to get a few shirts and a few headbands. Okay, so make sure you check that out. www.isbhpk.com/Israel-wear. Okay. We also have another business, www.sweetambiance.com. Many of you guys know about that. That's our fragrance business, aromatherapeutic oils, body oils. We're trying to push this online because the way it's looking is we're not going to have our locations. 2 of the 3 locations may not exist after tomorrow. So if you need anything, check us out online, and it's a good thing. You know, the Most High makes the moves, man.
Yes, sir.
And we gotta be faithful to roll with it. So
You say 2 of the 3 locations may not be
yeah,
as far as which location?
here in Houston and one in Virginia. Yeah, so y'all can always, we're trying to get the steam rolling on the online. We've been having it online for a while, but you know, make sure y'all visit that site. It's a nice site too, real user friendly. You can make orders there. So we're trying to get that to gain some steam. Okay. If you need to reach a teacher, y'all know my number. It's 303-557-8979. Priest Kazakia, he's out in Virginia. He just got back from a nice little visit here to Houston, which was much needed. He just got back to Virginia, but you can hit him up. Oh, his number, y'all gotta update this number on here. It's not this number. It's 757-400. 757-400. You got it?
300-4047.
Yeah, okay, my bad. 757-300-4047. That's Priest Kazakia's number. So if you were hitting him up and not getting no response, don't take it personal. He just don't have that phone no more. And we got to update, Sherrod, we got to update that number. Right, the water. 757-300-4047. Anything that y'all like to give, you know, we appreciate it. Again, y'all know with the businesses being down, y'all been helping out tremendously. With the school, the rent, the internet, the lights. I mean, we weren't able to pay it. We weren't able to pay it. So brothers and sisters, y'all been taking on the burden, so we appreciate it. All right, so, you know, if you want to continue to do that, we appreciate it. We're going to need it. And yeah, I mean, there's not too much I can say about that. Y'all definitely been holding it down for here and for Virginia, for both schools. So we definitely appreciate that. That's it for the announcements. No feast days or nothing like that coming up, right? That I'm missing?
I don't think so.
No? Yeah, so that's it on the announcements. Is the title up there? Okay, she's gonna put the title to the class. I titled this class, Can you hear the voice? Now, a little fun class that I put together. You know, I went out to brothers went out to New York. We sat with the elder, right? High Priest Yeshaya. We sat with him, and you know, when you sit with a brother that's been in the truth 40 plus years, you know, he's gonna throw a lot of different things at you, right? Yeah. And there was something that he had said, and I was like, nah, that's not. And he was like, nah, that's what it is. And I was like, nah, I don't believe that. I never heard that. And he showed me through the scriptures a few things, and we're going to go through it. I'm not going to give the class away, but we're going to go through it. You know, we always go through, there's always a lot of confusion about who was Moses speaking to when he was on Sinai, when he's in the burning bush, right? Who was it?
Yahushua.
Right? Now, there's all, but what about the scriptures that say that he spoke to the Most High face to face? There's always that, right? So let's get a little bit of an understanding of what that means. Go to where we at? Go to. Let's get some understanding. What does it mean that the Most High spoke to Moses face to face? And as this class progresses, you'll understand why the title is Can You Hear the Voice? Because, what's that?
That you meant lights.
No. Right, well, I'll get back to that. Whoa, did it just... Oh, I tried to... Right, because we understand, like, think about it. Who in here has heard the voice of the Most High? You heard the voice?
I think we all have, like, to a certain extent. Maybe he's speaking through someone else, like through a vessel, something like that, of some sort.
Right?
In my opinion.
Okay, that's good.
I believe that.
So you believe that you've heard the voice of the Most High through someone
I
else?
believe what he's
Well, I'm just reiterating what he's saying.
kind of,
I'm just reiterating what he's saying. So you think that you've heard the voice of the Most High through somebody else?
given direction, I suppose so, yes.
Okay, that's That's one aspect of it, right?
Con.
But what about when Yahweh Shai said you've never heard his voice or seen his shape? I'm posing these questions. I want y'all to think.
You're correct. You're correct, but
Right? Go ahead.
you're correct. But you're saying he's speaking through the vessel. Let's say let's say Yahweh speaking to Yahweh Shai to come through you. He's giving that message to you. So
Right.
that's what I'm getting at. So,
So you're
in a
talking
sense,
about-
sense, yes, I am getting direct word from Yahweh.
Okay.
Father.
Now I'm not talking about getting instruction
Right.
and getting wisdom.
Okay.
Have you heard the voice of God?
La. That's
Have you heard the voice of God? Major. Razza? Have you heard the voice of God? Okay. Let's see. Go to let's go to Exodus real quick. Go to Exodus 33 and verse 11. And let's substantiate a few points about when Yahweh Shai had to put them in the mind that you've neither heard the Most High's voice or seen his shape. What was he alluding to? Read that. What's up?
As you're asking this question, in my mind it's like, would I have been like the ancestors who ran 11 miles towards the tent, or would I have just stand boldly hearing whatever voice would have been,
No, you would have ran.
right?
Yeah.
Con,
They all ran.
con,
There's only one man that stood.
con.
Right. So, but I like that you said that because we're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into that, and I'm not going to give it away. Go ahead, read Exodus 33 and verse 11. Y'all want me to give it away early? I'm giving it away.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 11.
Go ahead.
And the Most High spake unto Moses face to face.
Right. So that means that if I'm talking face to face with a cat, I'm looking right at him. Right. Like, right. Mano y mano, face to face. I can feel the breath on my cheek when he talks. The spit flies and hits him on the nose tip. Right.
Right on the lip.
Right on the tip. Right. Right. Go ahead.
As a man speaketh unto his
Right.
friend.
Because when you speak to your friend, hey brother, shalom, how you doing? Like you're close. Right. Go ahead.
And he turned again into the camp.
Right.
But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
Right. So from there, go to Exodus 19 and 19. So it's telling us face to face, like a man talked to his friend. Right? How many of y'all talk to a cloud? Like I gotta go tell my rib a message. Let me get the fiery cloud and let me get the burning bush. Y'all talk to y'all friends through a burning bush? Okay. Now, but we know that's what happened, right? That's what the Bible, the scriptures tell us that. Go to Exodus 19 and verse 19.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 19.
Right?
And when the voice of the trumpet sounded out
Wrong, right?
and waxed louder and louder,
Go ahead.
Moses spake, and the Most High answered him by a voice.
Right. It said the Most High answered him by a voice. Right? So I'm going to these few scriptures to establish a point. And you'll get the point as we progress.
Yep.
Right? Go from there. Go to Numbers 12 and 8. So we know that. And this is talking about on Sinai. On Mount Sinai, there was a lot of different things going on. If you understand that story and what was happening, you had who can tell me what was happening on Sinai? Go ahead, Major.
Moses was getting I want to believe it was the 10 Commandments.
Right. Not just the 10.
Well, all the commandments.
Right.
To give to the to Israel.
Right. And what sort of scenery was happening?
It was like lightning and
Right.
smoke, like fire, all kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Lightning, thundering. What was going on? There was chariots sitting over Mount Sinai. Right. It said it was like a smoky furnace. Right.
Yeah.
There was trumpets blowing. It tells you here. Then there was a voice on top of the trumpets. The voice and the trumpets are two different things. So the trumpet waxed louder and louder. Moses spoke, and the Most High answered him with a voice. Right? Go to Numbers 12 and 8. Y'all gonna be like, dang.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 8.
Watch what this is. Y'all gonna be like, wow. Go ahead, read.
With him will I speak, mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth. Now, what does that mean? Mouth to mouth. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Between the conversation between one and another.
No, it don't mean that. Watch. Read on.
Even apparently.
Wait, you said what, Major?
Conversation between one and another.
Right, but you said something after that. You said straightforward. I think you said straightforward. Who says? Somebody said straightforward. Meaning what? What do you mean by straightforward?
Straight up, face to face. Straight
But me-
mouth to mouth.
But give me a little bit more, because that's what the scripture is saying. Give me a little understanding, like from where you're coming from.
Meaning we're gonna be in person.
Okay, let's see if that's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 8. With him will I speak, mouth to mouth.
Right.
Even apparently.
Even what?
Even apparently.
Go ahead.
And not in dark speeches.
So what was he saying? That I want to talk to Moses where he can comprehend. I'm not gonna. How did Yahushua speak to the people? No, he didn't.
No.
He didn't speak to the people plainly. He spoke to them in parable form, where they had to come and ask. Break that down, please. Right? So the Most High was saying, I'm going to deal with Moses. He said, even apparently, it's going to be apparent. There's not going to be need for breaking down what I'm about to say. There's not going to be need for some super comprehension. The mouth to mouth, right? The face to face was that when I speak to Moses, the comprehension is already going to be there.
It's gonna be obvious.
It's going to be obvious. Go do this. It is not going to be, well, let me try to get my own interpretation. I need Aaron to break this down for me. Yahweh, let me come back and ask again. When he said, go to Pharaoh and tell him to release my people, there wasn't some underlining message behind that.
Yeah.
So this is what the Most High said. I'm going to deal with Moses. How was he dealing with other men? Well, he would have to come to them in dreams and visions, right? He wasn't dealing with Moses in dreams and visions.
Right.
He was coming to Moses, right? It would be midday. Moses didn't have to go fall asleep every time he talked to the Most High, or else he'd be sleeping the whole 40 years. He'd be asleep the whole time. He'd be in a dream state, vision state the whole time. So he was coming to Moses, right, without having to go to a dream. Remember when the Most High checked Miriam, and when he checked Aaron for speaking up against Moses, what was one of the things that he said? He said, I'm speaking to him face to face. Anybody else, I'm coming to in a vision.
Right.
You see that? So this is what this is saying. When it's talking about this face to face,
Mouth to mouth.
mouth to mouth, I'm gonna deal with you straight up. Meaning, there's no underlining message there. Moses, go do this. Go do that. Go free my people. Bring them to this land. Walk around 40 years. It was no, well, let me go get that interpreted real quick. Or let me wait for the Most High to come to me in a dream, in a vision. The Most High speak once, yea, twice, and in a dream and a vision, right? No, the Most High spoke once to Moses. He got it. That's how the Most High set it up.
Got it.
Right? So, go ahead, read on.
And the similitude.
Read that from the top real quick.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 8.
Right?
With him will I speak mouth to mouth.
Go ahead.
Even apparently.
Even apparently. That's a very key. Even apparent. When something is apparent, right? Like, that's apparent. Like, it's known. It's seen. Go ahead.
And not in dark
And you
speeches.
see that? And not in dark speeches. Go ahead.
And the similitude of the Most High.
And the what?
The similitude.
Of the similitude. This is very important also. What is a similitude? What is a similitude? Like the similitude of Lewis, right? What would that be speaking of? Well, let's break the word down. Similitude. Huh?
The simplicity of what he's saying.
No.
Similar.
Right. Something similar.
Okay.
The similitude. Similarity. That's the root, right? So what does it say? The similitude. Somebody look that word up. Look that word up for me. Go ahead.
It says the quality or state of being similar to something.
You see that? Go ahead.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. So the similitude, something that is similar to me. Go ahead.
Of the Most High shall he behold.
Right. So if he spoke to Moses face to face, and then he comes back and says, "Wait, it's my similitude that you will behold."
I got it.
What else you got for similitude?
It says similitude. It says likeness, resemblance, likeness in nature,
Right.
qualities or appearance.
Right. Likeness in nature, qualities or appearance. So we know that Moses dealt with a few different things, right? He dealt with the burning bush. That was a similitude of the Most High. He dealt with angels, right? He dealt with Yahweh Shai.
So,
But before you ask your question, is everybody on the same page?
Con.
Y'all are with me so far.
Con.
It's not gonna get too deep. This is a fun class, man.
It's
It was
deep.
fun for me to put together.
it's deep.
It's a fun little class that I put together. Y'all are gonna be like, really? Why? Well, should we get to the end? Y'all gonna be like, come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you tell me to do something, okay, if I'm in a council concerning myself and my
Wait,
rib,
if what? Say
if
that?
I'm in a council concerning myself and my rib, and you give me an instruction, the similitude, in the sense of similitude, I'm gonna follow that with the likeness and the resemblance of that instruction, not doing my own thing. So that's what right here when it says, and not in and the similitude of the Most High shall he behold. So it's like,
Well, let's take it. Let's just make it. Let's just say what it is. He was basically saying that you'll never see me, Moses, but you will see something similar to me on a lower level than me,
snap.
which is the angels, the powers, Yahweh Shai. You ain't gonna see me.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna hear me, but you gonna hear something,
Got it.
right? So where we at? Read from verse 8 again.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 8.
Go ahead.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth,
Right.
even apparently,
Even apparently, very key. Go ahead.
and not in dark speeches,
Not in dark parables or speeches that have to be broken down. Read.
and the similitude of the Most High
And
shall,
something similar to me, my glory. Watch, you're gonna get it with this next scripture. Go ahead.
shall he behold.
Right?
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
Right. They're like, Most High was checking them. He was like, wait a minute, I talked to him. I don't give him dark speeches. He's seen my similitude. What have y'all got? How are y'all not afraid to speak against Moses? Now, check this out. Go to Exodus 33 and verse 12. You're going to take it down to verse 20. Actually, start back at verse 11. This was the first scripture that we went to, right? So let's get it now in its context. Read Exodus chapter 33. You're going to read 12. We're going to read down to verse 20.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 12.
Keeping Exodus 19:19 and Numbers 12 and 8 in mind. Go ahead, read.
And Moses said unto the Most High,
Right?
See, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom.
Wait, where you at?
33:12.
33 and 12. Read 11 again. Let's just get the whole thing.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 11.
Right.
And the Most High spake unto Moses face to face,
Right.
as a man speaketh unto his friend,
Go ahead.
and he turned again into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
Right, go ahead.
And Moses said unto the Most High, See, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people,
So you told me to bring this people up. Go ahead.
and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me.
Right.
Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight.
Go ahead.
Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight,
Right.
show me now thy way,
So show me thy ways. Go ahead.
that I may know thee,
Read.
that I may find grace in thy sight,
Right.
and consider that this nation is thy people.
Read verse 14.
And he said,
So this is the Most High.
and he said,
Go ahead.
my presence shall go with thee.
Right, my similitude. My presence is going to go with you. I'm not. Go ahead.
And I will give thee rest.
Go ahead. And what was that presence? Remember the pillars by day and night? Right? Remember the parting of the Red Sea?
Yep.
Remember the plagues in Egypt? The death of the firstborns? So that presence, the destroyer that sent fiery serpents, that sent the plague, pardon, right? We know who that presence was. What's up?
Is this also speaking of his omnipresence, his omnipotence?
Yeah, it is speaking of his omnipotence. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 15. And he said unto him,
If
thy presence go not with me,
right,
carry us not up hence.
right, go ahead.
For wherewith shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight?
Right,
Is it not in that thou goest with us?
right,
So shall we be separated,
right,
I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth? And the Most High said unto Moses,
come on.
I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken. For thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
Right, read verse 18.
And he said,
Moses said, go ahead,
I beseech thee,
read.
show me thy
He
glory.
said, show me your glory. Read.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Most High before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious,
Right.
and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
Go ahead.
And he said, Thou canst not see my face.
Lord said, thou cannot see my face. Why?
For
Now,
that,
I want y'all to go back to the story of, remember Manoah, Samuel's parents? Samson's parents?
Samson, yeah.
Remember when they saw the angel, they were like, man, we seen God, we're about to die? They thought they seen God. And they were like, we're surely going to be put to death. Right? Because it was known that if you seen the Most High, if you seen God in all his glory, you weren't going to stand to talk about it. You weren't going to live to be able to go and be like, man, I seen God yesterday.
Yeah.
Man, and you know, he was chilling. He had a couple of gray hairs on the top. Nigga was going bald right here. His nose was this wide. Right? Those nigger lips.
Them nigger lips.
Right? You wasn't going to have a chance to do all
You
that.
weren't going to survive to tell the tale.
No. That was the common thought and knowledge amongst our people. Right? Now remember, this is after this story with Moses. That story with Samson. Read on.
For there shall no man see me,
Right?
and live.
Right, so how could he talk to Moses face to face? He couldn't. It was a similitude. It was all the different ways the Most High decided that he wanted to communicate with Moses. What's that, Karanazai?
No, I got it.
Okay, you good? Well, I probably got it. What you got? No, what you got? What you got?
No, because I was thinking what you were saying.
No, go
Everything
ahead.
that was happening, the smoke, the lightning,
Right?
Everything that's how he was.
That's how he was dealing with it. But there's watch, y'all. Watch. Right? Can you hear the voice? Just keep that in your head. Right? Go to exit. So you said read verse 20 one more time.
And he said, Thou canst not see my face.
Right.
For there shall no man see me and
Go
live.
to Exodus 23 and verse 20. So we weren't seeing the Most High. We weren't, listen, even when Yahweh Shai was dealing, we weren't seeing him like that, face to face. It was a, remember when it said he appeared in the tabernacle door and Moses went and met him? He saw a similitude. He didn't see Yahweh Shai like a black man with a fro. He dealt with a similitude. He dealt with the glory of the Most High appearing on the mercy seat. It wasn't Yahweh Shai who just came down like, I'm here. He dealt with the glory of the Most High. A similitude. Right? And whatever that was that the Most High decided for it to look like. But it wasn't, he didn't see Yahweh Shai with holes in his hands from when he was rolling with the 12 apostles. Put it like that. Y'all understand that, right? He didn't see the Most High. Right? He didn't see what Daniel saw in a vision. Y'all get that, right? He saw a similitude. This is going to tell us even more. Watch. Read on.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee.
Go ahead.
To keep thee in the way.
Go ahead.
And to bring thee.
He said, I sent an angel before you. Go ahead.
And to bring thee into the place.
Right.
Which I have prepared.
Right.
Beware of him.
Beware of what?
Beware of him.
Beware of the angel. Go ahead.
And obey his voice.
Come on.
Provoke him not.
Right.
For he will not pardon your transgressions.
Read.
For my name is in him.
Verse 22.
But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice,
So obey his voice. Go ahead.
and do all that I speak.
Because whatever he's saying is coming from the Most High. He said, but obey his voice, but do all that I speak. Why? Because the Most High was speaking it by proxy through these angels. Right? Go ahead. Or through whatever means he decided, through a burning bush. Right? Through, what other ways? He dealt with Moses in the burning bush. He dealt with him in,
What about that donkey or something?
well, right, Balaam and the donkey. However the way the Most High wanted to deal. But in this, I'm really dealing more with this instance. I'm trying to think. Was there another way? That was only really it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, the burning bush. Go ahead. But remember, there was a lot of different commands being given at different times. Right? Most High would say, hey, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. But it was a lot of the time, most of the time, all of the time, he was talking through an angel.
Yeah.
You would hear the angel of the Lord said to Moses, or the angel said, and then God said, all in the same chapter. It's like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Even when Moses asked, what's your name? What should they call you? He was talking to the angel.
Right.
That's what people get messed up on that with, what do we call him, Ahia or Yahweh? Well, he wasn't talking to the Most High himself. He was talking to an angel that represented the Most High.
Yep.
So if I'm talking to you about me, if somebody's talking to you about me, and you say, well, what they gonna call him? You're gonna say, you're gonna call him what he be what he be, right? He is what he is. Not I am what I am, because I'm not. You see that?
Yeah.
Right. So that's when people get that messed up.
Con.
Now I wanted to establish that point because that's very important. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies,
Right.
and an adversary unto thy adversaries.
Now go to John chapter 1, verse 18. And then go to John 5:37. Somebody else can get it. He ain't got to be the only reader. If you quit, get it.
John chapter 1 verse 18.
Right?
No man hath seen the Most High
Read.
at any time.
Come on.
The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him.
Right. Because if any man saw the Most High, he wouldn't be living to tell you about it.
Yep.
John 5:37.
John chapter 5:37.
Read.
And the Father himself, which has sent me,
Read.
hath borne witness of me.
Right.
Ye have neither heard his voice.
So, you have what?
Ye have never heard his voice.
Now,
Excuse me.
you never sat with the Most High and spoke face to face. You never sat down. This is what Yahweh was reminding them. And if you look at the context of the scriptures, he was telling them, you never sat with the Most High and heard him speak to you. He spoke to you like, hey, son, how are you doing?
Not like just you.
Just you. You never heard his voice in that way.
And-
How two men sit back and have a discourse.
Yeah. And that's very important, because it's very important to bring that out too, because you hear that a lot with churches.
Yeah.
The pastor will be like,
Man, Jesus told me.
Jesus told me to tell you this.
He told me to tell you, bro. He told me to give you brothers and sisters a message.
Yeah, the Lord gave me a word.
The Lord gave me a word. That's it.
No, the hell he
No, he
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah.
The Bible says he doesn't. So why am I supposed to listen to you?
Yep.
Yeah, Christians hate this. They hate
Yeah.
this scripture.
Now-
Because God didn't tell your pastor nothing. Jesus didn't tell your pastor
Concerning
nothing.
you, right.
Concerning you, concerning him, concerning his concerning nothing. He hasn't heard anything. I mean, unless the Bible's a lie. So,
Now, I will say this. If you understand the context of what Yahweh Shai is saying, we've all heard the voice of the Most High.
yep.
We've all heard the voice. Who can give me an idea of what they think?
But that's why I said, like, he never just spoke to you.
Nah, bro.
It wasn't just you. It was everybody.
It was right.
It's never just you.
Right.
You hear the voice of the Most High, it's never just you.
We all hear it.
And I'm done.
We all hear a voice.
I'm done.
We've heard the voices of angels.
John. I was going to reiterate on what I was saying earlier.
Uh-huh.
It's like the word itself is supposed to be the voice, I would think, that actually prophetically spoke these words that we are just now studying today.
Right.
At this time. So I felt like we've all heard it at one point in time through whether it was someone else or a vessel or angel, like you just stated earlier, just a few minutes ago. I feel like we all heard it in some aspect.
That's absolutely right. In the aspect that you're coming in, the angle that you're coming in, you're absolutely right. But I'm coming on a more base aspect. Remember this, like what you're saying is, be not forgetful to entertain strangers because many have entertained angels unawares. I ain't going that deep. I ain't going that deep at all. Okay, so last week, was it last week? Or it was 2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week.
It was last week. It was 2 weeks ago. And
We heard it last week.
we heard it last week. Listen, we heard it for 6 hours straight one day.
God.
It was 6 hours straight. And if you weren't contemplating the scriptures and really thinking, you'd be like, whoa. And then when you do contemplate the scriptures and meditate, you're like, dang, that's what they were dealing with in Mount Sinai? Anybody got a guess?
Anybody.
Y'all gonna be mad as hell.
Class.
I've done it.
Give
Okay,
us
that-
some more hints.
You said what? I'm not gonna give y'all hints. Because I'm gonna give it away. Abadiah.
I was gonna say the thunder.
Khan.
Nicodemus. Sir Nicodemus
What did he
online
say?
says thunder too.
Go to Psalms. Y'all got it. Go to Psalms 104 and verse 7. Remember that video I posted in the group chat? And it was just thunder. It was just rumbling in the sky. And it rumbled and it rumbled and it rumbled. That happened for like 6 hours, 8 hours straight. Did y'all know that? The next day, same thing. The day before, it was just thunder, 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 thunder. It was thunder and flickers of lightning. Thunder and flickers of lightning. Now, I know y'all are like, wait a minute, that's the Most High talking? Well, let's read. Go to Psalms 104 and 7.
Psalms 104 and 7.
Go ahead.
And thy rebuke they fled.
Right?
At the voice of thy thunder.
At the what?
Voice of thy thunder.
Go ahead.
They hasted away.
Right, now go to Psalms 29 and verse 3.
The voice of thy thunder.
I know it's like, oh, well,
29 and 3?
yeah, 29 and 3. There's a little build up here. Just giving you these little base scriptures, but then there's a nail in the coffin. Go to Psalms 29 and verse 3.
Psalms chapter 29 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
The voice of the Most High is upon the waters.
Go ahead.
The Most High of glory thundering.
He does what?
Thundering.
Go ahead.
And the Most High is upon many waters.
Right, go to Job 40 and verse 9.
You know what I like this one too because it says that it thundereth, right? And it says that the Lord is upon many waters. Because it could thunder right here, but it could be thundering somewhere else too.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like the scripture says, omnipotent.
And also when it goes into those waters, right? When you go through the oh, you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing you just about to say.
Oh, go ahead, bro. Listen, we all here to teach.
Yeah.
Go ahead, baby.
Above we have the firmament, and then we have the waters above the firmament.
Right.
And it says that there's springs of water above the firmament.
Right.
So when it says upon many waters, that's the waters above the firmament. That's the waters inside the firmament.
And his voice is heard throughout all that.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah. Watch. Go to Job 40 and verse 9.
Job chapter 40 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
Hast thou an arm like the Most High?
Right. That arm, right? When you talk about that, I'm strong arming cats. That power. Go ahead.
Or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Canst thou thunder with a voice like him?
Right. So it's telling us that the Most High's voice sounds like thunder.
Wow.
Sis.
I know, never may sound funny, but I came from a family
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was telling my husband that a few days ago. He was like, probably the same day you were talking about when it was thundering and lightning really bad. I was like,
Yeah.
God is mad at us.
The Most High was just. But I'm gonna show you something about that because even, and I'm gonna let you come in. You know, when you sit back and you listen to the thunder, and you if you really sit back and just listen, I'm not saying that you can understand what it's saying, but it almost sounds like a response, like something's being said that there's a response. Something is like a bam, then a bam, a bam bam bam, then a bam bam bam, it's responsive almost, like there's some sort of communication happening.
Yes.
Mouth to mouth?
No, that wouldn't be mouth to mouth. Because hold that thought. Watch, read Psalm 77 and verse 18. It wouldn't be mouth to mouth, because remember that mouth to mouth, that was basically talking about a clear understanding. No deep speeches, no parables. Right? Go to Psalm 77 and verse 18.
Psalms chapter 77, verse 18.
Right?
The voice of thy thunder was in the heaven.
The voice of what?
Thy thunder was in the heaven.
Go ahead.
The lightnings lightened the world.
Go ahead.
The earth trembled and shook.
Right, go to Ecclesiasticus 46 and verse 13. And these are just, little warm-up scriptures just to ease us right into is he making it up? Is he making it up that the Most High, it says his voice was the thunder. Right? Now I know y'all are like, well, wait a minute, a voice, we supposed to, wait a minute, we supposed to know what that's saying, Partazat, right? Wait a minute. Well, I'm going to show y'all something. Ecclesiasticus 46:13, read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 46, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
The prophet of the Most High, beloved of his Lord,
Right.
established a kingdom.
Right.
And anointed princes over his people.
Go ahead.
By the law of the Lord, he judged the congregation,
Uh-huh.
and the Lord had respect unto Jacob.
Right.
By his faithfulness, he was found a true prophet.
Go ahead.
And by his word, he was known to be faithful in vision.
Right.
He called upon the mighty Lord when his enemies pressed upon him on every side.
So he called on the Lord. He set up his prayers, right? Like David. He set up his prayers like us. We set up our prayers, right? And what do we sit back? We wait for a response, right? Don't we wait for a response? And the only thing you got, there's no voice that comes out of heaven like, yeah, I heard you, got you. Oh, you want the new rib car? Okay, got you. She's going to be there tomorrow, 5 p.m. at the Starbucks. Go there. You don't get that, right? You got faith. You got hope. Right? You got all those confirmations. Which, for the unbelieving, those wouldn't be confirmations. Right? Go ahead.
When he offered the second lamb.
Right.
Verse 17. And the Most High thundered from heaven.
Go ahead.
And with a great noise.
And with a what?
Great noise.
Right. He did what?
Made his voice to be heard.
Right. He said he made his voice to be heard. That's very important. He made his voice to be heard. Now, remember what I was saying about if anybody's seen that video I put in the group chat, I said, now take this. That day it was looking like this. And we got a lot of low rumbling.
Yeah.
It was low rumbles, but then you had the ones that was like you were like, ooh.
Shake the windows and your door.
Yeah, the whole house. I was in my bathroom, and the whole house shook, and I was like, oh, Lord, no. The whole house shook. I was nervous. Man. When the house started shaking from the thunder, I was like, oh, nah.
Yep.
That's when you set up your four corners. You face the east. Right? That's when you repent for all your wickedness. You beg them, you get butt naked, right? Yeah, you start anointing yourself. You lay butt naked on the floor. You beg Yahweh, please, Yahweh, don't kill me. Right?
Yep.
That's what it felt like. Man. I remember I was in the bathroom, and I was like, why are the kids running up and down the steps? It wasn't the kids running up and down the steps. The house shook, because you heard the thunder, you felt the shake, and then you seen the lightning after. That's how crazy it was. The lightning would come 10, 15, 20 seconds later. And it wasn't like no really big lightning. It was like flickers. It was almost like chariots were just sitting above with lights just flickering. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is Mount Sinai on like level 1% of the 1%. This ain't even nothing of what they dealt with.
It's a 0.01.
This is a 0.01 of the 100. Right? This is a percent of the percent. I mean, if you were paying attention those couple of days, I'm not sure what was happening, but I know we was getting, it wasn't even heavy rain. Right? Because I was outside recording. It was raining, but it wasn't heavy. It was lightly sprinkling, but it was noisy. Somebody had their hand up.
I had a precept.
What you got?
Going on. Job 37.
Go ahead.
Job 37 and verse 2.
I'm
going to read the verse 5. It's called, go what you were saying. It says, hear attentively the noise.
Oh, no. Don't go there.
All right.
Don't go there. No, don't go there. Nope. Don't go there yet, my mates. I got it. Don't go there yet. Yeah, I need that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got that. That's going to be the last scripture we go to.
Oh, God.
Right. So where we at?
Verse 17.
Right. Read that one more time.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 46, verse 17.
Right.
And the Lord thundered from heaven, and with a great noise made his voice to be heard.
Right. Go ahead. From there, go to Psalms 18. Verse 11.
You know what's cool about this this class and us learning this is we've been so far removed from just nature itself.
That's true.
That we don't even realize these things anymore. That's like what you were saying about your family. About cutting the power off and thunder the Most High is pissed. Like back in those days, the older generation, they would be like, yeah, that's the Most High speaking. Because you weren't the only person I heard that from. I heard that from a couple other people.
I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, I heard it from a couple of.
I don't pay attention in church, so.
But
I'm not saying that. But when I was there, never paying attention. I'm like.
Turn the TV on.
Well, you heard you just heard certain things.
Yeah.
So, but what the white man did, man, what Esau did in America, they removed us so far from the word and just from nature and from everything, where we don't even realize certain things. And I love that we're learning this because we see now whenever you hear thunder, you're always gonna be like, oh crap, what's going on now? Like, what is he doing? It's gonna put you in that mentality. Like, let me think about. It's gonna put you in the mindset of, okay, what's going on with the Most High, and it don't matter what you're gonna be doing during that day. What you're gonna be going through, what's on the agenda, what's going on in your life. When you hear that thunder, you're gonna be like, oh crap, the Most High. Your mind's immediately gonna go to the Most High. So,
hold where you at, and then go ahead. What you gonna say?
The first time that I ever heard about this thunder and like what the sister said was Brother Samuel. Brother Samuel, he has a story where like some lightning struck while he was waiting to get into some apartments or something like that. He can tell you the story better. But he was talking about this rumbling and it was the Most High speaking, and I was like, I never heard that before. It just sounded like, old wives' tales to me. Yeah. But his story was like really the Most High talking to him.
Right. Go from there real quick. Just on what y'all were saying. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 13.
Abadiah had a question.
Abadiah.
I was just going to say, America or Esau has watered it down so much just by saying the universe and nature and all that they've taken the credit away from the Most High, because he created the thunder and the lightning and all of that, but they minimize it by calling it Mother Nature.
Yeah, we did a whole class on Mother Nature, showing that there is no such thing. And all these different things that happen in nature, thunder, lightning, rain, they're all significant. Even the thunder got a significance to it. So the Most High would throw that from the heavens. Yeah, the enemy. You gotta read the scriptures, man. It tells you. You send thunderbolts on people, right? You're getting struck by lightning. Talking about you, but why would people say? And I'm not saying. People say what? I put that on everything. God be my witness. He'll strike me by lightning, right? Because that was a weapon of the Most High. The lightning, he would toss that down at cats. He would thunder. He would yell. Then he would punish. You see how that works? It's used for watch.
You know what the just real quick in the Strongs, the lightning, right? It says a flashing sword.
Oof.
So
damn.
If you
hit with the swords from heaven.
God. I mean, if you're gonna go out, you kind of want to go out like that.
No, you don't. Nah. You were pinpointed and targeted.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's getting hit by lightning. You must have been wicked as hell.
That's true.
That's not a good thing. Like, oh, I must be lucky. I got struck by lightning. Nah, bro.
Live?
The Most High was checking you. The Most High was checking you.
Well, if you look at Roman theology, Zeus, his power was like
lightning. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Zeus is who? Ain't Zeus supposed to be the one that came down, slept with a woman, and they had Hercules? Mm-hmm. Right, so Zeus was supposed to be God.
He's supposed to be the Most High.
He's supposed to be the Most High. His son is supposed to be Yahweh Shai. And what, his woman is supposed to be Mary? Mary Magdalene?
In the Greek mythology, Zeus had many women.
Oh, okay. Right. What's that?
In Genesis, during the time of Noah, when it first started to rain, does it talk about thunder? Because that's like the rain, and that was a response to that generation, right? The floods,
right,
and all that stuff. Because
I don't believe it does. Remember, it had never rained. It never rained. It never rained before any time, right?
But now in this time, it's like if there's thunder and lightning, it's because there's gonna be rain coming, right? So,
well. This is what you got to ask yourself. So you're asking, does it talk about thunder in the time of Noah? Right? Let's see here.
Also with like the thinking that I'm having is like, if it was so fearful during the time of Mount Sinai, or even now, like, okay, now when it starts raining and thundering, I'm like, oh man, my dad, what you do, right? But during the time of the generation of Noah and everything like that, thunder and lightning and all this stuff, like how scary would have that been? You know what I mean?
See, it don't talk about thunder and lightning in the days of Noah. It just said it flooded. Now, because that shows you that it can rain without thunder and lightning. You don't have to have thunder and lightning every single time it rains. Every time it rains, it don't lighten.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. It can thunder and lightning and never rain. Yeah, so you'll have just straight thunderstorms. Thunder and lightning storms, and then rain can be the byproduct on the back end, but not always. And like Major said, vice versa. You can have rain without thunder and lightning. You can have thunder and lightning without rain. They're not synonymous with each other.
Where there's a place in like South America, like it, or somewhere in the world, I don't even know. Mm-hmm. But like every night for like hours on end, it's thundering and lightning, and it's like a phenomenon of the world.
Damn. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But
and I just might bring that up because it's like, okay, what is the Most High saying? What is going on?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you something. And not saying I'm gonna tell you what he's saying.
Okay.
But I'm gonna. But I'm gonna. No, I'm not. I grew up saying that's the Most High crying. Oh no. Definitely Yahweh crying. I mean, that's what they taught us, like the sister said, to water. Think about it. We're like, oh yeah, the Most High is mad because he's thundering. Oh, the Most High is mad. Oh, okay. Let me carry about my day, right?
Or
Let me carry about my day. Right now, I want y'all to think about that. But say what you were gonna say.
Or like also how since I was saying like how even in the movie Men in Black where Rosario Dawson, when every time she cries, it would rain. You know what I mean? Okay. But it's just like the wickedness of it, or just the misconstruing of like, okay, that's not what it is. It's not
and that's all it is. It's we're gonna take the Most High. Watch. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 13. Go to Romans 1. Go to Romans 1. Go to Romans 1:20. Go to Romans 1:20 first.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20.
Right? And I'm just adding these in. I didn't have them in the class, but go ahead.
For the invisible things of him,
right,
from the creation of the world,
go ahead,
are clearly seen.
Read.
Being understood.
So hold that. Go to Psalms 14 and verse 1. It says being understood. Now go to Psalms 14 and verse 1.
Psalms chapter 14, verse 1.
Is it Psalm 14 and 1? Yep.
The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God.
Now you see why the Most High calls him a fool. Because if you wanted to know that if there was a God or not, just listen to the sky when it rumbles. And not just a God, not just the Most High, but his Son and the angels.
You know, I looked that up before.
You looked what up?
The thunder, the sound, and the lightning and stuff like that.
Like the go ahead.
Like the way it comes about, like where it come from.
Oh yeah, they give you some cockamamie.
Yeah, it says something like
answer.
There's supercells, and when the supercells cross each other and hit, it makes this sound and it makes these rumblings and stuff like that. I was like, supercells.
I used to think clouds were crashing into each other and making noises. That was when I was young. I was like, oh. Yeah, I just never thought about it. I never thought about how thunder and lightning came because I don't think that's even something that can be explained. Like, how do you explain like, is it even electricity that goes through the sky? Do we know? Do we know what it is? It's thunder.
Can't capture
it's thunderbolts.
Can't bottle it.
It's lightning. Yeah, has anybody ever captured lightning in a bottle? To really say, oh, that's a beam of light that's millions of volts. We know it's lightning, right? We know it hurts when it hits you. It hurts, right?
It's like kind of a little off subject. We're watching a movie about the tornadoes,
right?
And like, you know, the Edomites are always like trying to figure out how they even come. And it's cold air and hot air, and they can just destroy everything with just cold and hot air.
Right, but even with that, we know that that's the Most High sending angels to destroy because ain't it weird when the tornado will skip 8, 9, 10 houses and just hit one and then disappear? And then you look like, damn, what did he do? And then you look like, oh yeah, he was a pedophile, he was the murderer, he was this, he was that. Most High just sent a tornado right through a neighborhood, rip apart one house, all the other houses untouched.
That's like where I'm from. There was, when my dad was a kid, 7 tornadoes hit, and then like one right after another in that hometown. Just one side of town where all the Edomites stayed at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go to read Psalms 14 and 1.
Psalms chapter 14, verse 1.
Go ahead.
The fool hath said in his heart.
That's why the Most High calls him a fool, because he is there. He makes himself known throughout everything. Go ahead.
There is no God.
Go ahead.
They are corrupt.
They are what?
Corrupt.
Come on.
They have done abominable works.
Right. Because what do they end up doing? They end up worshiping all the things that the Most High created and putting those as gods. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 13 and verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Surely vain are all men by nature.
Come on.
Who are ignorant of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
And cloud not.
And could not.
And could not, Salah,
uh-huh.
And could not out of the good things that are seen.
That are what?
Seen.
Go ahead.
Know him that is.
Right.
Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Right, but what did they do with the works? They started to worship the creature more than the creator. Right? And it goes down. It tells you they deemed earth, wind, fire, the circle of the stars as gods. Right, sis? Abadiah?
Oh, is that what Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and 21 down? Is that because he's using the elements to cause destruction upon the wicked, right?
Let's go there.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 21.
Yep.
Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts
go ahead.
Go abroad.
The right aiming thunderbolts go abroad. Go ahead. Look how he lightens these thunderbolts to a weapon shot from a bow. Oh man, that is cold. Watch, read on.
And from the clouds.
It's hilarious to me, man. The Most High just up there like, got him. Perfect aim. Bang, got it. Hit whatever I want to hit. Oh, power outage. Boom, got it. Transformer hit. Boom, got it.
And you know what's cold about it? What's cold about it is the person probably dies, and the Most High is so cold that you wouldn't even know he got hit by lightning. Oh, yeah, he just found him dead.
With his feet burned. No, they know. When you get hit by lightning, they know it. Because you get burnt. That electricity tries to travel through your body, and then they find the burnt ground around you. Right? Well, go ahead, watch. Read it.
As from a well-drawn bow.
As from a well-drawn bow. Go ahead.
Shall they fly to the mark.
Go ahead. You see that? Shall they fly to the mark? That's right on point. So those thunderbolts, that's precision archery. It said from a well-drawn bow. Right? You ever watch them archers? They pull it, and they hold, and they breathe through it. And they exhale. They just, boom. That's all they do. Boom. Right? Like, that's scary. Ricardo, and then
what's so crazy is like as I mentioned earlier, going through the waters of the firmament with that bow of lightning and everything. Just like it's like going through targets on targets just to get to one main target.
Well, to the Most High, there is no target. When He pinpoints you, there is nothing else. Remember, it said that we use clouds for cover. The Most High sees through clouds, so there ain't none of that. Watch, go to just on that point. Go to Job. Go to Job. But I will tell you, see, where's it at? It is Job. Right. Go to Job 22:13.
Job chapter 22, verse 13.
Right.
And thou sayest, how doth the Most High know?
Right.
Can He judge through the dark cloud?
Hell yeah, you can. You know why? You know why? You know why the Most High can judge in the dark cloud? Y'all ever seen Batman? Dark Knight? Where Bane was like, you merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
I was
born in it, right? Listen, it said the Most High was in the deep, in the darkness. When the earth was void. He said he was upon the face of the deep, right? It said He made the dark clouds His rest. So you try to hide, the clouds ain't no covering. Watch, read on.
Verse 14. Thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not.
Right.
And he walketh in the circuit of heaven.
Right. You see that? So how you think the Most High is not going to be able to see through? He created the darkness. He created things out the darkness. Right. All that thundering, that lightning, where do you think it comes from? When it get dark, you know, some of the worst thunderstorms I've ever seen.
When it's dark.
But before that, it's a bright, sunny spring day.
Oh yeah.
Colorado is famous for these afternoon floods where it's bright, sunny, hot, 90 degrees, and then all of a sudden, if you look west, because all their weather mainly comes from the west. You look west and you just see this dark wall, and you're like, whoa, what is that? And it hit, obviously that hot air, that cold air hits, and you'll get these flash floods of just rain. But before that happens, you'll hear the cracking in the sky. You'll see the lightning. It'll start over here and go like this across the sky, and then it'll have like little bolts dropping down. I seen one lightning, it just went right across. They just have bolts. You know how Colorado is. Yeah, it's real. All of that is significant for something. The Most High is doing something. Now, the lightning storms, the spot you said in South America where it's always lightning and thunder. There's something going on there that the Most High wants us to see. He's doing that to show, nigga, I'm real. Here's the proof. But vain are men by nature. You won't see the good things that the Most High does to show you that He's real. You won't hear. That's why the title of the class, can you hear the voice? Because there is a voice coming from heaven. Now, again, when you sit back and you listen, you just gotta, like, I like rain, I like thunder, I like lightning. I like to listen to it. All you gotta do is sit back and listen, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I hear that. I hear it. There's something that you hear. Watch. Go to I was gonna say, imagine seeing something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't even half of Mount Sinai. Send her that photo. Send her that photo so she could throw that up there. That wasn't even half of Mount Sinai. And we have watered down the perception of the Most High so greatly.
Yeah.
Watch. Go to Psalms 1:8. I said Psalms 118, right? Psalms 18 and verse 11. Psalms 18 and 11.
Psalms chapter 18, verse 11.
Go ahead.
He made darkness his secret place.
You did what?
Make darkness his secret place.
Right, you adopted the dark. I was born in it. Go ahead.
His pavilion round about him were dark waters.
They were what?
Dark waters.
Go ahead.
And thick clouds
Read.
of the skies.
Go ahead, you're going to read the verse 14. Read on.
And the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed.
Right.
Hailstones and coals of fire.
Go ahead.
The Lord also thundered in heaven.
He did what?
Also thundered in heaven.
Go ahead.
And the highest gave his voice.
Read on.
Hailstones.
Right.
And coals of fire.
Right. Go ahead.
Yea, he sent out his arrows.
He sent out his arrows, those thunderbolts. Right. Go ahead.
And scattered them.
Right.
And he shot out lightnings and discomfited them.
Right. Go to 2 Samuel 22 and verse 14. It said the Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest. So is the Lord the highest? The Lord is Yahweh Shai. The highest is the Most High.
God.
So what's that telling you? What's that telling you? The Lord thundered in the heavens. The highest gave his voice. What's that telling you?
He utilized Yahweh Shai to do the bidding.
No, watch. Read it again. I'll read it. It says, the Lord also thundered in the heavens, comma. The Lord is Yahweh Shai. It says, and the highest gave his voice.
Oh, the highest was
the highest is the Most High. So what's that saying about the Most High and Yahweh Shai?
So you saying that Yahweh Shai gave the order to?
No, I'm not saying that. You're misunderstanding what the scriptures are saying. I'm not saying that it's not about orders. Showing you, sometimes when you hear that lightning, there's a back and forth there.
Okay.
They communicate.
Oh,
Y'all get it now? Right, watch. 2 Samuel 22:14.
2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 14.
Go ahead.
The Lord thundered from heaven.
The Lord thundered from heaven, comma. Go
and
ahead.
the Most High uttered his voice.
Right, and the Most High uttered his voice. You see that?
Oh.
There's a level of communication.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
go to John. Watch. Go to John 12 and verse 28. I told you it was going to be a fun class.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was a fun class for me.
Two different ones. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
So, the Most High.
You'll get it right here.
And Yahweh Shai.
You'll get it right here. Watch.
Okay.
You'll get it right here.
Dang.
You'll get it right here. Watch. John chapter 12 and verse 28 and 29. Watch. You'll get it right here. Read.
John chapter 12, verse 28.
Father,
glorify thy name.
Right.
Then came there a voice. Forgive me. Then came there a voice from heaven.
So there was a voice from heaven. Go ahead.
Saying,
read.
I have both glorified it. And will glorify it again.
Now let's read verse 29.
The people therefore that stood by and heard it, said that it thundered.
So some said that it thundered.
Right.
What did some others say? Go ahead.
Others said, an angel spake to him. Wow.
Y'all get it? So even the angels have that voice. Even the angels thunder. Right? I could go to many scriptures to prove that. All through Revelations, when you read Revelations, it tells you about the 7 angels spoke with a thunder. Their voices were like thunder. When the one angel thundered to the other angel, and then they went and did the command. So you see, there's a communication. Now, check this out. Go to Psalms. Go to Psalms 82. Go to Psalms 82. You gotta.
Damn.
Go to Psalms 82. I want verse. Is it 1? No. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah. Go to Psalms 82 and verse 1. What's up? This was it. But I want y'all to think. Go ahead.
Psalms 82 verse 1.
Go ahead.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty.
Right.
He judgeth among the gods.
Now, I want y'all to think of, this is telling you what about the Most High and all the powers. That they counsel. There's counsel. They communicate. How do we know there's counsels? Because when the Most High said, who was going to go down to, Ahab? And be a lying spirit, they counseled. That was like, they sat around, right? When the Most High, when it said the sons of men presented themselves to the Most High.
Yeah.
And Satan came along for Job, that was a counsel. That was a counsel. What do we do with Job? Now, right. Are they, do y'all think they just up there like, yeah, so our brother Job, we're going to, nah, when you hear them lightnings and them thunders and, listen, there's a reason why that thunder was going on for like 8 hours straight.
That's true.
There was a reason why it was 3 days in a row of just straight thundering. With sometimes no rain, thunder, lightning. You got to think, what was going on up there where the Most High was, I don't want to say what the Most High was doing because I don't know. But obviously there was some orders being given. Obviously there was some back and forth. There was some sort of, I don't even want to use the word communication because there was something going on where the Most High had to let his voice be known. And it wasn't just the Most High. You heard all different types of thunderings. Said the angels thundered, right? It said Yahweh Shai thundered, right? From there.
Oh yeah, like because even during that, like how you said it rattled the house. Not every single one rattled the house.
Yeah, there was some that was stronger than others.
Done.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was the Most High that rattled the house. Them other little low ones was cats grumbling. Nah, they were murmuring. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm joking. I'm not saying the angels is murmuring. I'm just joking. But you know those little, like, why you those little low rumbles? Man, why you always gotta be talking to me like that? And it just, that's what it sounded like, right? But just think about it. The Most High is letting us know. You gotta remember, the Most High is letting us know that like he said, that he's here. And he's doing it in the most plainest ways possible. Where if you don't believe the Most High is in your life or even real, you better wake the hell up. Because there might have been a 3-day council going on right above your head where you like, damn, oh, it's just thunder. Nah, the Most High might have been putting things in, hey, nah, you chill right here. You hold on right here. Don't drop until I say so. It tells you that in Revelations. It tells you that. When in Revelation 7, when he said, hurt not the earth. Until the saints are sealed. And then when you read these other chapters, it tells you, man, those voices sounded like thunder. Before, no, you're not done yet. Don't sit. Are you?
That was it.
Right, it said that an angel spake to him. So that voice, some heard thundering, some heard an angel. But what does an angel sound like? Well, it's saying it sounds like thunder when they talk. Right? Go to Deuteronomy 4 and verse 11. Now, this is the problem. I know y'all are like, well, what's the point? Well, the point is for you to know the Most High is real. The problem with us is that we can't comprehend the voice.